Hi, I'm Sisi, and this is the very first episode of Band Practice with Sisi, an independent interview series where we talk to Brisbane bands in their band practice spaces. Let's check it out. Today we're interviewing Being Jane Lane, and this is their band practice space. Let's say hi. Hi, Being Jane Lane.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Surely, yeah. Hello, audience. My name's Tegan from Being Jane Lane.
My name's Sarah.
They both play guitar, and this one sings. This one also sings. I'm Lou. I play bass.
Okay, let's start off. Being Jane Lane. For those of you who don't know, Jane Lane is a character from Daria. Why is Being Jane Lane named after her?
Being Jane Lane is part of a quote from the show Daria, where she is going away to college.
She's going away to college.
Yeah, and she tells Jane, "You're gonna be yourself. You're gonna be Being Jane Lane." And yeah, so we thought it'd be a good idea to name it that. Well, Louise did.
Well, look,
and
Jane Lane
redo it.
is just about owning herself and just doing her thing.
Just
and
be yourself.
Being Jane Lane. So we just do that.
Okay, can you tell us about when this band started? Tell us about how long ago it was.
All right, so I'm going to say 10 years because there is definitely a 10 plus years on this. But someone basically told me I couldn't put a band together of girls. And I was like, well, let me show you. And it was specifically, I remember this person saying to me, "You won't find a girl drummer." I don't know why, but this like rings really true to me. And I was like, well, and I did. We found, I don't know, it's got a few chicks together, and met Tegan. And yeah, so, I mean, it's been a journey. We've, been through a few band members, but yeah, we just started this ride and here we are.
It's been a long time, 10 plus years, which is, definitely the longest relationship that I've ever had. I don't know about you
It's
guys.
absolutely the most consistent thing that's been in my life ever.
Yeah. I feel like it was important to have all girls, and at the time too, because there wasn't a lot going on for girls, especially in the heavy music scene.
Yes.
There wasn't a lot.
Yeah, and it just became something that I was like, yeah, this is really cool. And I think that in terms of, a boys' world, which music is typically a bit of a boys' club.
The whole of the earth.
Well, yes. How long do we have, though? But yeah, and it was something about it that I was like, we can do this and be as good as the boys and accomplish something as a group of women. And we have. We've always been a girl band. The only time we've had guys in the band is for fill-ins. So yeah, we've literally maintained an all-girl band for, let's say, 10 to 13 years.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about how that's been in the Brisbane music scene? How being a girl band and a queer girl band has been in a male-dominated local scene?
I feel like it's being in the music industry for any woman or female presenting person is difficult, and you encounter a lot of hurdles, a lot of which we have also encountered ourselves. But I feel as though it is getting better. There is a lot of work to be done in terms of being more inclusive of everybody in these spaces, and it's always like, I feel like men are encouraged to do things like this, whereas women are not. So you got to be able to see it to be it.
Yeah, and there was definitely, like I said, when we started this, there were not many girl bands in the Brisbane scene. I think that we were maybe, there was a few, but it has come so far. There are so many more women in Brisbane playing music, and I'm saying, it doesn't have to be a girl band, like girls playing guitar, girl drummers, like there's so many more women in the scene, and like I can genuinely see a shift and a change in that. And I think it is. It's just that, you're not that you're told you can't do it, but it's like you shouldn't do it. Like, boys play guitar and whatever. Like, who cares?
Girls were meant for other things in the world.
Yeah, and I love it. Like, just seeing all these girls like shredding on stage, and I like to think that, we've come so far, and I like to think we may have had a little bit of input in the world. I've had girls come up after the gig and say like, wow, like I never, I was not brave enough to go and be in a band or play guitar or go and do this thing, and it's encouraged them or inspired them. And I think that if we can take anything of our time, I like to think that we've encouraged women to go and live your life and do what you want to do and not worry about if you're not supposed to do it or not. Like, get it done.
Well said.
Okay, tell us about We're Doing Fine, your new release. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How was the process of putting that together?
Long?
Oh, so long. Yeah, I think we actually spent probably like nearly 2 years on this thing, and that's not exaggerating. Anything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and we're used to stuff going wrong. Like, you know, you've experienced it now.
That's also, yeah, that's the like the life of a DIY band though, when you're doing everything by yourself, and just like it's bound to run into some hurdles. And I think with this album for us, because it started before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then it was just sort of really just a disjointed process from there for starters. And we're poor, so there was money, everything just sort of like getting in the way of us actually producing the work and putting it into the world. But 2 years on and we got it done.
Yeah, look, we're really grateful. Jay from Friends of Rom
Yeah.
was actually the producer for this one, which was, I had a bit of a meltdown about that.
Yeah.
16-year-old Lou was in a place. Look, we just ended up in this situation where it took us two separate trips to go down and record this, like the album, because as we did in Sydney, we had a bit of trouble at the end with the mixing and mastering. We are so lucky that our own Sarah here ended up having to do all of that work, mixing and mastering the entire album, which, as a band, anyone who's in a band knows you shouldn't be doing that, but we didn't have a choice, and we are so lucky. So yeah, I think just everyone, it's been an emotional journey. It's been very, like you said, long. And we got it out, and it's been a hell of a journey, and we are so happy to see it released, and all the feedback we've gotten is good too, because we'd sat on it for so long that we're like, is this even good? Who knows? We've had it for so long.
It was time. Yeah. We had to just do it. Yeah.
So you guys have been getting so much 4ZZZ airplay.
Hey,
Congratulations.
our favorites.
They're obviously a huge supporter of community and local bands. Who else has been supporting you on this journey? Not just through We're Doing Fine, but like who's been there for you along this process?
You Sisi. Literally, I feel like everyone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've been really lucky with the support that we've had from anyone we encounter, pretty much. A lot of people have helped us through our journey, and to get where we are right now. And sometimes we're like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? But like I said, we've been lucky to have people helping us.
Can I just say that getting the album of the week for 4ZZZ was that was a milestone. That was
huge.
That was huge.
That was like,
that was
and we've been sitting in the top 20 for almost a month now. So that's really cool stuff, especially for 4ZZZ, because it's like Brisbane's staple community radio.
They'd be inundated with
everybody has to thank 4ZZZ for anything really, because radio stations aren't playing your music when you're an independent band. This radio station is looking for it.
We've been talking about support. What venues have supported you through the years, and what venues did we lose to COVID that have supported you along the way?
We're going to start with a biased one, and the zoo. Obviously, we were very unfortunate. Anyone in Brisbane should know this. We lost a big venue. It's very strong and true to the community. So I think the zoo did a lot for us over the years, even prior to myself working there or being involved with it. We got, the opportunity to play on a big stage for the first time, very early on in our career at such a good venue. So it closed, that, as well as supporting us for so long, it closed, and it's a massive gap in the scene. That, and I'm going to do a shout out to, Kenny's Bar, King Lear's Throne, and Bad Luck. Just those smaller venues that really support bands at all levels, at those lower levels, because you've got to start someone. Everyone was there at one point, and without those venues, like, bands won't get to the next level. So yeah,
it's really sad to see those smaller venues going, because bands like us got to cut our teeth in those spaces, and now that if they're not available, then there's not that bridge for younger bands or fledgling bands that are trying to make their way onto a bigger stage with, you know, to get an opportunity to play with their favorite bands. And when you don't have the Zoos or you don't have the Bad Luck Bars of the world, then there's a huge gap. And I think that we are very lucky to have come out in a time when there was heaps of those venues. People in
the Foundry is another one. Like that was anything between that 1 to 400 or 300 capacity is important. And so there's been so many over the years that have gone away. And I think in this time, there's so many people wanting to see live music, and there's so many bands coming out. Those spaces aren't there anymore, and I think it's critical that everyone just gets out and supports those smaller venues. Obviously, Bearded Ladies, another one that's on the chopping block. That will be a significant loss to the scene. You know, even Black Bear Lodge, and I think they're on the edge of their seat at the minute. And like again, that's that 200 or whatever capacity that you need as like a mid-sized band in Brisbane. We can't all play the Triffid or the Ford, you know, you need those smaller ones, and people in the community love those smaller gigs. So yeah.
Let's pivot. Favorite, this is not serious anymore. Favorite band that you've been in a green room with?
I know my answer. Do you guys want to go?
No,
I'll go. Adore Delano.
Of course. Oh, absolute fangirl.
Yeah.
We got to support Adore when she was here. It was insane for me because I have her signature tattooed here. I showed her that and she didn't remember signing my arm, but that's fine. Oh, you want to get in there? Yeah. Adore. Yeah, I think that I was like super like fangirl, and like I don't know, I probably made an idiot of myself, but yeah, that was big for me. I think too because it was something different for us. Like we weren't supporting, you know, another band. It was supporting this performer who had come from, obviously we were watching on like RuPaul's and stuff like that, and it was just something different, and back to the queer community as well, which is cool because we like doing stuff with the queer community. So yeah, that was cool. That was mine. You guys?
I think for me it was actually Birkenstock. The one that you like. I know that's not like a band in a green room, but it was everybody. Like Salt and Steel played. We had Archie Arsenic, Selma Soul, like who I still like blows my mind to this day.
That was Bad Sex.
So Bad Sex, but wonderful. Just that was like the realization of what this community is that you guys have welcomed me into as well. And it was definitely like it was a moment, and I just it's still
That was a sick gig.
It was so fun. We need to do that again.
Yeah.
So good.
Birkenstock for life. Look, I had one then, and now it's gone from my mind. But I feel as though, like, I think it might have been just like anything at Big Gay Day backstage was pretty fun.
Yeah.
They have like huge headliners,
Yeah.
and we were in the same area as Mel C. We did not meet her,
You're gonna make me cry again.
but also the Veronicas.
I cried.
The Veronicas we met, and they
Yes!
were the
So
most lovely people that I've
Yeah.
ever met.
Yes.
But
We've
yeah,
actually had been so lucky to hang out with a lot of people that we have, like, you know, like I said, like Jay from Friends or Rom
this
recorded us.
one time
Like,
Chris Cheney said that my riff was sick.
that did happen.
That's pretty cool.
That did happen, yeah. Sick riff.
Okay, one more curveball. Who have you guys all been listening to together, like music wise?
Yeah. That's...
AC/DC.
Oh,
Only just one song.
there's a song.
Which one?
I've got
No,
big
you don't
balls.
tell you that. Oh, it's a secret.
Oh, you can say it. It's fine.
This is a potential cover.
Well, look, you could have just like kept it normal, but you're like, oh, it's a
I
big
made,
deal.
I made a big deal about it now.
Yeah, look,
Oh,
we're
no.
thinking about giving it a smash, but we'll see.
Hell yeah.
I feel like when we all put music on, it's usually pretty 90s centric. Like there's inevitably like Alanis Morissette, Nirvana. Yeah, a lot of grunge.
So you're just
Yeah.
saying we're old, pretty much.
Well, I mean,
Or cool.
I feel like you just mentioned the two people that I would put on.
here's a band I love. It's reggae metal, and I can hear them all going like, oh, oh no. But like, you know, they humor each other.
Okay,
It's good.
if you guys were to be any other genre band, what would you be?
Do you know, I want to kind of say the obvious one where it's like the only thing making money at the minute is country. So, till we try country.
I'll do it for the money.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm not against it.
yeah, I mean, we're going to have fun with it too.
I've just discovered that I'm fan's a strong word, but I like Keith Urban,
Fair.
So
which
we're-
I didn't think would be
Yeah,
ever a
listen,
thing that I would say.
Yeah. Look,